I'm ready going up. Hello, my fellow patriots. This is Alex with Disabled Vets Perspective, and welcome to another episode of Inside Veterans Affairs. We got a few things going on today. I want to first bring up the one, the only, the impressive, the most unique, and incredible Miss Belinda. Hey!
I'll slip you that $5 here in a little bit.
All right, cool. All right, that works. Get over here and wave a hand a second. I've got Frank Pierce. How you doing? Jason Schmidt, Deidre Baker, Donnie Newman again. Margot's good to see you. Dirty Rotten Imbecile, welcome. Deidre, good to see you. DM. I got Donnie Newman again. Boy, there's a lot of those in here. Anyway, so who's that? Franny Pierce again. Oh, I see that. Wow, there's so many people with the same name. It's just really weird how that works all the time. Over here in D Live, Sergeant Bob joined the house. Good to see you. And Duke Rawls in here. All right. So, no, not unless you want to. So, Miss Belinda, how are you?
I'm good. It's been a very interesting couple of weeks, hasn't it?
It has. I hear there's something going on, but I can't quite put my finger on it. But, everybody's staying at home. Oh, wait, mask.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Duke Rawl, how you doing? Cindy Doe.
You remember how sick I was for all those weeks? I wonder if I didn't have the first coronavirus or phase 1 of corona. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, and I'm surprised that with you hacking and yakking all over the place that you didn't spread it to your cohort over there.
I know. So it wasn't the flu. I know that. So maybe it's not that contagious.
Oh, see. Yeah, it's the thing sounds interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not making light of it at all. Don't get me wrong.
No, I agree. But you got some insider information from your area pertaining to your hospital. Do you want to tell everybody about that for a minute, and then we'll get started on some of the military issues?
Sure. We had a doctor come on our news that is at our very large trauma hospital downtown, UF, and he said that amongst all the hospitals, there is no problem with ICU beds or patients, that it's pretty much all conditions are normal, and that our emergency rooms are even running below capacity at this time. And supposedly we're one of the cities with the most cases and about to be overrun, but the doctor in the hospital on the news is not saying that at all. And then you have people posting pictures of, here I am outside of St. Vincent's, and there's nobody there. St. Vincent's is another one of our hospitals. Nobody's there. Here they are at, different hospitals, and there's nobody. Usually you find people smoking and all this kind of stuff going on. No, nobody's there. The parking lots are kind of empty. So and that's just from regular people just posting regular pictures with, I feel, no agenda. So, things that make you go,
Well, that's interesting. Yeah. Dirty Rotten Imbecile sent me a link that was the Surgeon General apparently on Fox Business today, and he kind of let the whole bag out of the cat and said that there's going to be more deaths from common occurrences than this virus could ever accomplish. So I think even he's kind of trying to let the public know that this thing is way overblown. And it's not to say that people aren't sick. I get sometimes it's like you mention that this is overblown, and they're like, "What? You don't care about the sick people?" But no, that's not the point. The point is that the sick people have it hard, and I hope they recover quickly. But we're destroying the country based on a hyper-inflated number prediction that this thing I mean, there's nowhere close to that. So they destroyed our country, our economy, and the world economy based on something that is having numbers inflated at an enormous level.
Yeah,
Carmageddon, how you doing?
I just don't know. I understand where they say it started from, but I just don't know how it went from January, it was kind of being talked about, to now it's, thousands of people across the world have died. It just seems that the spread of it is suspicious to me, or the amount of people that it's spread to.
Yeah.
Uh, the whole thing seems suspicious to me, but that's my nature. So,
Well, the deep state seemed to be really pissed when borders were closed and things like that because they didn't have enough sick people to run their narrative. So they pitched a bitch when they found out the borders were going to be closed, and they tried to stop that because they wanted more people to travel and move among other people that are healthy, so they could get a bigger bang for their buck with this thing. Pete the Patriot's in here. Also, I think I saw that. Who did I see? Oh, Gerald Gaming Vlogs got in here. How you doing? All right. I think I've said hello to everybody. But
well, they also,
anyway, so I'm sure we're going to get back to the. Go ahead, please.
I saw a headline that talked about the number of undiagnosed people. I Here in
Excuse
Jacksonville,
my Taylor jelly. That's
you just
embarrassing.
can't go get tested. So how do they know this number of undiagnosed people? Is it just a sliding scale and they put some numbers into a computer and that's what they came out with? I mean, I don't, because the models here in
Well,
Jacksonville, according
there's
to
some
this doctor,
hospitals.
go ahead.
They're inflated, but what they're doing in some hospitals is they're calling every death in the hospital coronavirus. So, Benny Mobby, how you doing? And Pete the Patriot, good to see you. They're just anytime somebody dies in the hospital, there's been cases where they actually changed the death certificate, where they had one thing and then they change it to COVID-19. So there's a coordinated effort here to basically mind screw the public at an epic level. So my friend is in a hospice nursing home. We can't visit him. They say he has COVID-19, but he was sick in November already. He has eczema and Alzheimer's and dementia. Yeah, see, that's really unfortunate. If they're in hospice, there's not a whole lot that's going to stop them from being dismissed from the living, and to tell family they can't go in when somebody's already in hospice care is just it's crazy.
But
Well,
I
B.
still don't
Georgia,
know how they get these numbers of undiagnosed, all these undiagnosed people. How do they get that figure? How can they publish a picture that says,
it's guesswork.
500,000 are undiagnosed? Is it just the math equation that they've come up with somehow?
It's their models, and they want to be correct on their models, so they just throw a number up there, and if it looks like it's going to be close to their modeling predictions, then that's what they stick with. But it's literally just modeling. It's like the futures market. Everything that's done is done with guesswork.
Yeah, that's true. In the future. Yeah, those
Anyhow.
futures.
Yep. Right. All right. Well, let's get into some of the veterans news that's going on. And we're over here in the Office of Public and Intergovernmental Affairs. There's looks like 5 new articles that have come up this week. And I'm going to start it off with the number one here. Says the VA extends financial benefits and claims relief to veterans. And I'm going to open that because that is a very misunderstood headline. So we're going to see what we get here. Somebody better feed that cat because he's looking at me in a very dangerous way. Has nothing to do with the VA. That's personal at the house. Damn, cat, quit looking at me like that. Somebody throw some food at him. Jeez. All right. It says the Department of Veterans Affairs announced March 3rd a number of actions to provide veterans with financial benefits and claims help amid VA's COVID-19 response. As all Americans come together to fight the COVID-19 pandemic, we want veterans to be focused on their health and safety, said VA Secretary Robert Wilkie. That's why we're taking action to give those with pending debts, claims, and appeals greater flexibility during these challenging times. The financial relief action includes the following until further notice: suspending all actions on veterans' debts under the Judicial and Treasury Department. Okay, I'm guessing that if you owe money because of GI bills or something where you've been overpaid, whatever, I'm guessing they're suspending their claim on that debt. That's just one example I can think of. Hello, Jeff. Suspending collection action or extending repayment terms on pre-existing VA debts as the veterans prefer. So let's see. For benefits debts, veterans can contact the VA Department Management Center at 800-827-0648 to make arrangements. For healthcare debts, veterans can contact the Health Resource Center at 1-888-827-4817 to make arrangements. The benefits and claims relief action include giving veterans the option to submit their paperwork late for the following actions: perfecting claims, challenging adverse decisions, submitting notices of disagreement, submitting substantive appeals, responding to supplemental statements of the case. I'm not sure what I'm getting out of that. So,
well, I think it's like me. I have to pay, supposedly. I mean, I don't pay, but every month I get this letter that says, oh, you owe the VA $44. And then the next month I get a letter that says, oh, we paid that for you. So a lot of people have to pay for their prescriptions. So maybe they're suspending that starting what, April 1st, you said? This is starting this month?
It's, what did I say here?
I think that's what you said.
March 3rd.
Oh, starting March 3rd, they're going to start
March
suspending.
3rd that they made the announcement. Right.
So maybe it's for stuff like that, because I get that letter every month, but then I get the following letter that says, no, I don't have to pay it. Then I get another letter that says I owe $1.98 in administrative charges, which I don't. So it's a big paper drill. But I know some people do have to pay for certain meds, so maybe they're suspending that now.
Yeah. I'm putting up the good old 1-800-82000 or 827-1000 number for questions for the VA, because that's in my information under the video. But if you need it in the chat there, then it's there. You can write it down real quick.
Yeah, 12B Georgia says they took his money for not this month. They just took money, not this month. So they didn't for April, but they took money in March, I guess, is what 12B Georgia is saying.
Looks like they just took his money. So it looks like they didn't suspend his debt, questionable debt at this point.
Oh, not this month.
They took the money.
Okay. I didn't
so maybe next month they'll suspend it.
Maybe so.
But anyway, so that's what I got on that one. And I'll bet you probably have just about the same information as I do. You can have the next one.
Okay, I have the VA New Jersey healthcare system East Orange campus is to assist in the COVID response. The VA has opened a 20-bed, 15 of them are acute, and only 5 intensive care at the East Orange, New Jersey Medical Center to non-veterans. So I guess that's good. The VA decision comes in response to a request the department received from FEMA in the state of New Jersey. VA's decision was made after determining that this action would not negatively impact veterans' care. So they're letting non-VA patients now come and be treated there. So that's a good thing, because from what the news says, I don't
Yeah,
know anybody that lives in New Jersey. They're overrun, but I don't know anybody personally that lives there. So I don't know.
I knew somebody who used to live there, but he got the hell out of there. So I think he's feeling pretty good right now. Why
That's
do they
good.
send you tons of paperwork with your numbers all over it?
With your
Um,
numbers.
Franny Pierce, I'm not sure what you mean when they send you tons of paperwork with your numbers all over it. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Uh, you're only 10% and have to pay $8 a script. Wow.
Oh, hmm.
Might be time to reevaluate and see
Yeah.
if you can get your programs changed. Prop has jumped over here in D Live, and Carmageddon is here. How you doing? Good to see you guys.
Franny
Um,
Pierce, what do you mean your
all right,
numbers are
so
all over it? What number?
we got to give her a second. She'll answer.
Yeah. Oh, I
But
know.
I'll go on to this next one while I'm waiting. It says VA wins 16 awards, boosting consumer service for American veterans. Wow.
Customer
Department of
service.
Veterans Affairs received 16. Hey, yeah, because it's all kiosk now, so no wonder they're doing better.
Mhm. Mhm.
Received 16 Gears of Government awards this March for work in the department amid an improving customer service, and fostering medical innovation for veterans. Yeah, all reliables here. How you doing? So, yeah, I don't even need to read that. We all know why it's getting better, because you don't have to deal with the disgruntled employees that couldn't be fired. So
Yeah.
anyway, so you can have the next one. I'm gonna leave that one alone.
And their
Customer
government
service.
awards,
Oh,
it's like myself giving myself an
right,
award,
right.
okay. Uh, VA expands virtual services to support veterans amid regional office closures due to the pandemic. Um, the VA veterans continue to receive benefits and services after the VA temporarily closed all of the 59 regional offices rather. Many in-person services are already available via the phone or online through the VA Video Connect. Uh, the changes include uninterrupted GI Bill payments, so students continue to receive their benefits unaffected by any change from in-person or online learning. So, with these schools closed and teachers not being as accessible, they're not going to stop their payments. That's good. Supporting students for educational counseling through online and telephone services, connecting veterans to voc rehab and employment services through telecommuting and video chat, informal conference hearings by phone when needed. I guess that's for your appeal. Collecting information remotely via phone or teleconference when possible to process grants for adaptive housing. So I guess everything they're trying to do that they normally do in person, they're trying to do online or with the VA Video Connect. So, I mean, that's just more people that won't
Yeah,
be going back to work, and you know, you'll be doing everything from at home and not going out in public. And because it's all a little sidebar here,
right.
it's all very weird to me. I don't want to use the word suspicious. It's just weird how quick everything happened with this being able to talk to a doctor online. The amount of people, you can have
Right.
a video conference from home with the doctor. You can get your lab results, video conference with the lab. The VA has all these video conference capabilities now. We have robots going
Right.
into patients' rooms. It's all very
Yeah,
convenient to
it's
me.
kind
It's
of
like
one of those.
more and more isolating people. You become isolated. Oh, Walmart wants me to pick up my
Yeah,
groceries by
what?
calling the Walmart app.
Right. And what are the chances that a lot of this stuff will stay in place long after this COVID scare is all said and done?
Well, right. Why pay people? Why pay when we can just do it all online? And I can do 100 video conferences in one day, sitting at home with a shirt on and in pajama pants, you know?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I see a lot of these changes that are taking place that they're going to be real comfortable with. And it almost seems like you were saying, it seems like this has been prepared for because the implementation of this it's almost flawless.
Yeah.
It's like they've had a long time to get ready for it or something, and they knew it was coming. So it is interesting.
Yeah, because half the time they can't plan an outdoor
Anyway,
concert correct.
Exactly.
Or at least here they get that all messed up.
The next one here. Yeah, but I mean, if we're with the government, we're here to help, and you can guarantee with their help, it'll take at least twice as long normally.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it says here, VA to assist New York City with COVID-19 response. Today, the Department of Veterans Affairs announced it is opening a total of 50 beds, 35 acute, 15 intensive. And I think you just actually read that one because it seems to have repeated itself. Yeah. So, okay, New Jersey. So it's the same article, two different locations. So, yeah, I mean, that's the bottom line is the VA is opening themselves up to patient care.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. Then you want the last one there?
Well, 1, 2, 3, 4,
I think
5.
That was the last one.
The last one. Yeah.
Yeah, I can count.
I can't. So I have to do it out loud.
Let's see. There are 5 fingers on one hand, so that's a good.
Yeah, we covered all the
Great
fingers.
Informer. How you doing? Right. All right. So, getting off of intergovernmental affairs, and we're going to get into the military.com. A few little things to talk about. The U.S. troops will be directed to wear face masks, SecDef says. Secretary of Defense wants them wearing face masks. So, but if you remember at the beginning of this thing, it was made perfectly clear that every orifice in the entire human body is capable of picking up the virus, but they keep harping on the mask issue.
Well, if it prevents, because see, I just don't know what's true. If it prevents you from giving it to me, I'm good with it. If it prevents, either way, you giving it this way or me getting it that way, I'm good with it. But I don't know what to believe either.
Right.
But I'm not going to be stupid and not protect myself from an unknown. Well, Alex, I just don't believe a lot of this.
I try to put a mask on this thing to protect other people all the time, but it has nothing to do with the virus.
I know. You're so funny.
All right, so the next thing here is unexpected orders aim to get full benefits for some mobilized Guard members. Now, I'm not the smartest kid in class or the sharpest tool in the shed or all that stuff, but I thought when they activate the National Guard, they do go up to full benefit when they're in active status.
Yeah, so did I.
Am I wrong?
I thought that's how it worked. Any National Guard in here? Trying to click it now, but my thing's running slow. See what it says.
Oh, well, I get that a lot.
Some members of the Maryland National Guard were surprised Friday to learn that instead of receiving orders under U.S. Code 32, that would entitle them to more pay and bigger housing allowances, they were being put on a 5-day order with less pay and less allowances.
Oh, that wasn't an accident.
Yeah, but officials say it's
left-leaning liberals.
But officials say it's a move expected to make them eligible for full military pay and benefits, rarely afforded the Guard. So, okay. Well, the White House has authorized. Guard troops must be mobilized for 31 days or longer to receive the higher basic housing allowance rates and health benefits through TRICARE. So I guess because they're going to be on scene longer, they had to push out when they could be entitled for benefits.
Right. Real quick, I want to say thank you to DM for the lemon and to Pete for the diamond. Pete again for the 2 ice creams, and Pete again for another lemon. He is throwing the entire grocery store at me with a little stop in the jewelry store, so that's kind of cool. Appreciate that, Pete. Yeah, if we're going by the numbers that Dr. Fauci is saying, then the guard will be activated for the next 150 years because the rest of the world will be locked up in their houses for that long. So with no end in sight, no deadline to their activation, it's hard to say what they're going to do. American War Horse, how you doing, brother? Good.
Well, yeah, because it all contradicts. I can read something on military.com, then I can go read something on, another website, and it's all contradictory information. And that's what makes all this so frustrating for me. I just can't find one consistent thread.
You have to sort of
panic.
Right. Just have to read down the middle. The next one here is one that concerns me because apparently it's already been done, but it says military weighs the risk to take COVID-19 patients aboard the hospital ships. It's abundantly clear that there would be no COVID-19 patients on the boats. They have a different mission. Who's been following the Q or any of the other conspiracy theorists know that mission has nothing to do with COVID-19. But I heard that there's a rumor at this point, I can't verify, but that some COVID-19 patients were snuck onto the ship, which has caused them now to require a decontamination process. But anyway, it says the Defense Department is conducting a risk assessment on a possibility of taking COVID patients aboard the closed quarters of the hospital ship Comfort in New York City. Army General Mark Milley, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, said Friday, "We're reassessing that now," Milley told Fox News of the current guidelines that limit access to the Comfort to non-COVID patients. He said Defense Secretary Mark Esper was making a risk assessment to determine whether or not we should take on all COVID patients in an effort to relieve the stress on overburdened city hospitals. Now, the subject matter is there, the discussion is there, but the hospitals that are overwhelmed, as we're seeing citizen journalists get out here and do their phone camera kind of stuff, we're seeing that these numbers that they're talking about aren't realistic in a lot of different hospitals. These war zones that they talk about, I mean, you can literally hear crickets because there's just nobody around these buildings. But every time you see them do a news report, they've got a line around the blocks. Where the hell are those people when citizen journalists come up?
Right. It was like that one news reporter, I think it was Anderson Cooper during Katrina, was standing in a ditch of water. And there's a picture of his cameraman standing on the road and Cooper's in a ditch. I think and I think someone commented here in the chat that said they had to go to the emergency room one day this week, and it was a proverbial ghost town. So, and that's just from us regular people. That's just information from us regular people.
Right. G.A. Bunny, I wonder if some of those rescued happen to have it. It is entirely possible. I didn't think about that. So it is possible that that's how they ended up on the ship. But there's just no way of knowing. Right now, there's too much secrecy still.
and everything's conflicting. I mean, why would you want to spread out,
Yeah,
like you were saying, COVID patients through everything? You'd want one place for, your appendicitis cases and another place for your deadly COVID patients that, it's going to kill them.
right.
Why would you want to infect?
Well, the other thing is they've got a mass layoff going right now of health workers. I mean,
What?
if this thing is the absolute global cataclysm that it is supposed to be, then why are they laying off medical professionals? They're laying off entire groups of nurses in some of these hospitals and stuff. I just got that report today, so
Yeah,
it's weird.
uh, like the ones that are on the orthopedic floor because they're not doing a lot of elective surgeries. Those nurses are being
Right.
laid off, but they can go PRN uh, to an emergency room or to, an infectious disease floor or something like that. But yeah, a lot of nurses are asked
From what
to.
I understand, they're not even giving them options.
Oh, really?
They're, from what I read in the report, there's no option. They're being sent home. They're not being reassigned.
That's a shame. That's a shame because a nurse I know personally could get a 12% raise plus some type of hazard pay to go work in
Right.
the infectious disease floor. But she's going to have
Yeah.
a baby, so she's not going to go
Well,
through that.
yeah, it's probably wise. In the same subject now, we're off the subject of the ship, but in the same general issue. It says military reverses course and will open field hospitals to coronavirus patients. So again, if the hospitals are ghost towns, then why are we changing the way we're doing things in field hospitals? Here's the thing. New Orleans has been hit very hard. And this is going to be the tinfoil hat part of the show, so brace yourselves. You've got New York that's getting kicked right now, right in the teeth, supposedly. You got New Jersey. You've got, I believe it was Michigan that's also having really high numbers, California, and then New Orleans specifically in Louisiana. It just so happens that those are the same places that have had records of very high trafficking locations for young people and other humans. So just very interesting.
It is all interesting. Did you read what American Warhorse put on here? He's made 2 comments.
Go ahead.
Do you want me to read them?
He talks a lot, so we got to just let him. Yeah, please do.
Well, no, I mean, they're good. It says, oops, it just
I know.
left. I can't comment
It's
on
all
anything,
good.
but I can read a lot of them. He says, I'm part of the support staff at an urban hospital. We take temperatures and follow protocols, and we have COVID patients. Then he says, it's basically business as usual with a couple of extra steps put in place. And that makes sense to me. I believe that 100%. That completely makes sense. It doesn't sound hysterical. It doesn't sound out of control. It doesn't have any of those things that we keep hearing about.
Right. Who did I see just jump in here? Rebel Jack came in here. Good to see you. Thank you again for the lemon, Pete. Sergeant Bob, appreciate that lemon. Pete gave me another lemon. He's trying to give me a sourpuss. All right. So since we can't get off of COVID-19, no matter where we look, we're going to get into the subject that is really got me riled up this week because I don't trust it. I think there's something more to it. And that has to do with the removal of one carrier captain and the all of the hoopla around that. Carrier captain, there's a petition right now to reinstate him.
Oh, please.
But I think this whole thing is disgusting. But please, Belinda, I'm going to let you start it off because I have my thoughts on it, but I want to hear yours before I go into mine.
If
you see how I threw you under the bus there?
It's okay. If that was my skipper when I was active duty and all of a sudden, oh, I can't control anything, and my bosses aren't helping me, which is how I interpret his little whiny butt letter, I would have no faith in this guy. I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm supposed to follow you. You're supposed to be the beacon of common sense and leadership and this ability to guide through turmoil, but here you are whining." I would lose complete faith in the person. And to run a what
Right.
did you say? They're trying to run a petition to get enough signatures to put the dude back in the
Yeah, they're
military,
trying to get him
back on the ship?
reinstated.
Whatever.
Well,
It doesn't work
he
that
didn't
way.
lose his military career. That's the thing.
No, no, no,
No, he didn't lose his military career.
no.
He
Yeah, he
gets to
go work
keep
in the
his
tool room.
stripes and everything. He just gets off of sea duty.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Go
but
go
he
manage the
gets
tool
out of
room.
sea duty. That's pretty much what this done.
Get out of here.
Right. But here's the thing. I was in the Army, and, you know, you never want to project weakness ever. I mean, if you have, if you've lost all of your people in combat, you better talk on that radio like you are one of 300 that are moving over the hill. You never, ever project weakness. And that's the thing that disgusts me about this, because they have informed everybody on the planet that we have a super carrier with 5,000 highly trained personnel that are war ready at any given time. And all of a sudden, he's made them all look like they're feckless and unable to perform their duties.
And the ship is out
I
of
had
commission.
many times,
Sorry.
right? I've had many times where I've had temperatures as high as 104, where I'm sitting here puking about every 10 minutes. And all I do is step out of formation, go throw the groceries, and then get back into formation and carry the hell on. People in the military have a different kind of drive than the civilian world. And even if the folks on the ship were sick, I mean, they're going to put an oxygen tank on their back, put a mask on their face, and drive the hell on. That's just the way it's done. But this whole thing, apparently he's from San Francisco, and this whole COVID-19 thing has been designed to bring the country to its knees, to destroy the presidency, and to create Orwellian lockdowns of the population that have never been seen before in human history. And we've had a lot of events that were much worse than this, that they never did any of this stuff. So his letter has an incredible timing. And the fact that he's from San Francisco, where the king of the bitches is from, and the fact that it comes out when President Trump is basically getting a handle on this thing by cutting down the travel and stuff like that. So with him getting a grip on it, they needed something else. And it just seems like this captain was activated. Okay, sir, go do your thing. And he's one of the yes men that is left over from the Obama administration, because all of the people that said, no, you can kiss my ass, Mr. President, sir, with all due respect, were all fired by Obama. So there's a few questions about this guy that need to be answered, and all we're getting is more questions. And I think the real information is going to come out very soon. And frankly, I would be completely disappointed with this dude if I was under him. We had a captain, or at that time it was a not a Navy captain, but an Army captain that got put in charge of our company, and he was in charge of supply. So when we had our regular activity in my unit, we were a forward operating supply company and transportation. We were frontline transportation. We trained in special operations. We did all of the air assault training, all of the combat leadership courses, everything. We were basically the transportation company that was built to service the members on the front lines in the combat zone. And when we got this new captain, new company commander, he stopped us from doing all of our hardcore training and had us running toilet paper and paper products around the military base. And when we finally got rid of him, when he did his last call to attention in our formation, every single person in the entire company made an about face and dropped trowel and mooned this son of a bitch. That's what I would have been doing to this captain on his way off the ship. So I don't have respect for this. I don't like a captain that makes his whole basic battalion look like feckless weaklings that can't handle anything.
Yeah,
The
the letter
Lockhart
was
perspective, Damon, good to see you.
well, the letter was inaccurate. It didn't
The
have
letter
all
was
the
what?
details. Inaccurate. It didn't have all the
Right,
details of
right,
what was truly going on. You just don't go drop 4,000, 5,000 people in Guam and say, hey, keep these people 6 feet apart. It doesn't happen anywhere. It takes a little bit of planning for that to happen. It's funny that he's from
right,
Her Highness's district, and like we were talking about earlier, we know she knows of this guy because that's what happens in your district. People excel and do great things, either whether it's a business or educator or in the military. She knew this guy, and I just think it all blew up in their faces. But then you read some of these people that say, well, Trump reinstated the SEAL that was in Iraq or Afghanistan. I don't remember where. Well, that was after a trial. He got reinstated after a
right.
trial. This guy hasn't had anything but deemed unworthy to lead anybody to the bathroom. Okay. I mean, I would not follow that guy
Right.
to the head, period. He's just
No.
he's the big whiny millennial
Well,
baby.
it seems right. It seems to be a general consensus. Looking over here at my D Live, uh, they say yes, it showed weakness, and he broke protocol. And another one started involved said he thought it didn't add up. So this isn't something that I'm the only one seeing, and
No.
you're obviously part of that eye too. So the whole thing just stinks, and I'm like everything else that we've seen. In another week or two, the real information about this guy is going to start coming out.
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. Well, you know where his loyalties lie, and it is not with his commander in chief. And that's treasonous to me.
Right.
And why he's not facing a court martial is beyond me. I mean, you just don't do that. But it's the kinder, gentler military. So maybe I don't know. If you relax the rules, this is what you get. If you
When we
stick
used
to
to,
your guns, you don't get this kind of crap.
yep. In our day, it was if you got an injury and you can still function, it was shut the hell up, rub some dirt on it, and get back in the fight. And that's the way we treated it. It just we were never going to be looked at as weak, and that was just unacceptable. Period.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I'm going to let the captain go, but I'm going to tell you another thing here that proves beyond any shadow of a doubt that this whole thing has been choreographed and designed to destroy this country and the presidency to allow the liberal psychopath globalists to take control. What I have here, I just opened up a Google thing and I said COVID-19 used to remove Trump. I am just going to read you the headlines. These are just the headlines that I've got on this one page. It says, please use the 25th Amendment to remove Trump and save us from the coronavirus. Next one, coronavirus. Trump removed U.S. official meant to monitor the progress of the coronavirus. Next one, coronavirus. Trump's botched response and the lack of testing. And then another one here. White House debates how far to go on face mask guidelines. He's already made that clear. Anyway, the next one here. Is there enough time to fix Trump's COVID-19 response? I can keep going down the page. I might even get more than one. this thing is designed to create failure in the presidency and of the country. Tell me I'm wrong and prove it to me.
Okay, I'll wait. Somebody out there? No, of course that's what it is. Of course that's what
Yeah,
it is.
right. Please, anybody jump in.
Yeah. Of course that's what they're trying to do. I mean, their whole goal, I don't know anything that these Democrats have done since he was put into office that was for the people. All they've done is waste taxpayer money on deals, dossiers, investigation, Russia Gate. I mean, all this other horse crap they've done. And now they want to
Yeah,
start an
well,
investigation on how the COVID money is being spent. Really? Really? What they
yeah,
need
because
to be
they didn't
doing,
get theirs.
yeah, they need to pass a bill that says in times of crisis, when we need to pass some type of emergency bill, no pork will be added to it. Don't hold it hostage so you get your damn bridge built in some place. That's
Right.
sorry.
Well, the guard numbers right now. No, hey, this is where you need to let it go. I'll lay a couch out. You can stretch out. You can tell me what's on your mind, and you can just let it all hang out because that's what we do here.
Well,
I mean, when it comes to military, we are the passionate ones, and you're going to get it real here. So
well, you did
this
see
one
that
here says the latest guard update. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
the VA, the Wilkie or whatever his name is, he is calling on veterans to lead by example. And he put out, I think, a 2-minute video on YouTube. And it's for veterans to lead by example, to get your people to understand what social distancing is, to be a leader in your community. And that's what he's asking veterans to do. I I have my own take on how to be a leader in the community as far as this is concerned, but it was nice that was put out there. I thought that showed a lot of respect for us old timers, that probably won't be recalled back
Yeah.
to active duty.
Yeah,
Although I'd love it.
there is a stipulation on that. Yeah, but if you've held a certain security clearance and you held it while you were active duty, then you can still be called back all the way up to I think age 60. So, but you have to have a certain clearance, and unfortunately, I mean, I'll do whatever I'm asked to do, but my security clearance is still active. I found that fascinating, and I found out that through the VA. But I've I've had mine since 1989, and it apparently has never expired because some of the stuff that I was involved with is still highly classified. So it puts me on a radar. Even though I'm broken, they'll just throw me in a lawn chair on the top of a building or something to do Overwatch or something. But there is that possibility that they could call me back for something anyway. But we'll just have to see how it goes.
I hope it happens. I hope it happens. I mean, you see these millennials, you see what happened with this captain, in charge of a nuclear aircraft carrier. And he's going to go leak a letter to the San Francisco
Yeah.
Chronicle because he's not getting his way about something, or he's trying to make his own personal political statement because he wants to retire and run for office. Please shut up, dude. But
Yeah. Yep. It's
those are the people we have now.
it would be interesting if I ended. Yeah. I don't know what exactly would happen if I ended up in the same uh, airspace as some of these little millennials, but I can guarantee you it wouldn't be friendly. I mean, I don't have time for that. So, I mean, I'd respect the rank, but I would definitely let them know, with all due respect, exactly how I feel. What are they going to do? Fire me?
You civilian.
Yeah, right. All right. So, let's see. What do we got here? We got 10 minutes left. Um, All right, we got to go back to the captain a minute because I want to clarify something.
Okay.
President Trump did not fire the captain. The president doesn't handle anybody below the generals. The president hires and fires generals. They are at the president's beck and call and at his pleasure, not anybody below. So it says Defense Secretary insists Trump didn't order the firing of the Theodore Roosevelt commander. So I hope that's as abundantly clear as it can possibly be, because the captain is got a boss that is between him and the president. So
it's called the
needs to
chain
be
of
cleared up.
command. The chain of command, something that guy didn't follow.
Yeah.
The chain of command.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
They kind of teach that, I think, in
somewhere
boot
back
camp.
there.
Yeah, I think that's what you're taught from
Oh,
birth in the
yeah,
military.
okay. Right. This is I'm jumping subjects here because I'm trying to keep track of this National Guard page since I found it. And again, this is National Guard, always ready, always something, always there. Yeah, it's in smaller print. So it's all you got to do is if you want to follow the National Guard, their activities, their notices, whatever, just put up National Guard and open up this National Guard page and you'll have everything. But it says here, the 177th FW conducts virtual unit training assembly. So Atlantic City Air National Guard Base, New Jersey, the 177th Fighter Wing, New Jersey Air National Guard is conducting a virtual unit training assembly for many airmen this weekend in response to the COVID. So even the training in our military looks like it's going to be going to computers. Is this I'll throw that to you, Belinda.
Is it a good thing to learn on a computer? Well, that's all these kids know. I mean, they had to find a way to teach them, I guess, based on their video game experience. Do I think it's a good thing? No, because what happens when you're someplace like, the desert, and you can't get a hold of your online training? You just need to know how to think for yourself and make things happen. I don't think it's a good thing.
But somebody bring me a computer.
Right. What am I supposed to do in this type of crisis? Oh, okay. Let me log on to chapter 12. Damn.
Right. Well, I don't know how you train.
They're not taught to think. They're not taught to be. You can't be an individual, but you have to be able to think. And leaders always will come to the top when you have people that are taught to think and taught how to ferret out the correct information and to move people forward. And I'm sorry, with no interaction from other humans and just learning on a computer, you're not going to get that. And that's just my 2 cents, which means nothing.
Right. Well, it means a lot here. DM dropped another lemon on me, and Pete throwing another ice cream. Man, you are going to make me fat. But, I like it, so it's cool. Anyway, so I'm just checking my DLive over here. And by the way, if you folks haven't joined me on DLive, please take a minute and go follow me on DLive. The link, DM has been dropping the link because she's a master mod. And just follow me on DLive because it's just a matter of time before the YouTube gives up on us completely and shuts us all down. Gun loving Grandpa got in here. How you doing? Also, the Conservative Patriot. Good to see you. And Philip Turner, welcome. God bless America's in here too. Wow, we got the whole family in here. Yeah, there's the DLive link. If you grab that and follow me over here on DLive, that'd be awesome. I'm up to 98 right now, and I've got, I don't know, visibly I've got 1,800 subscribers, so there should be at least 1,702 there. So. All right. Also, I wanted to mention that some of you may know, some of you may not. Douglas Ducote, he's a fellow YouTuber and a friend of mine. He and his wife have been diagnosed with the symptoms of COVID. They have been tested. They're waiting for results to come in next week. They're both pretty ill, pretty messed up right now. So if you guys are the praying type, I would love it if you send some prayers up for Douglas Ducote and his wife and let them get over this thing as quickly as possible so they can get back at it. But with that being said, you got anything else you want to talk about, Belinda, on the way out the door?
No, I just hope everybody keeps I don't mean to tell people to be suspicious, but just always question the information that you're being given. And if it doesn't make sense, then there's something wrong. That's the way I do things. So it doesn't make it right.
Yeah, the hydroxychloroquine. Yeah, Mark B just brought it up. The hydroxychloroquine has been curing people, right?
Right.
An Indian doctor that was interviewed had 600 patients and a 100% success rate. Another physician that was interviewed that I saw his report, I forget his exact number, but he's been treating people right off the bat. As soon as they come in with symptoms, they test. They don't even bother waiting for the test. The results, he's been giving them starting them on the regiment, and he's got patients that don't even complete the regiment, which I'm believing is like 5 to 7 days. And he's having patients returning to full status and full recovery within 3 days. So yeah, this is going to put an end to it.
Yeah, and they bashed Trump for that too when he talked about it.
Yeah.
You know, Cuomo came out and said, how can he say this? He's not a medical professional. Oh, shut up.
Right. They needed more deaths, so they needed to scare people away from the cure. And any Democrat that comes on and says, well, this is just insane that you're saying that we want dead people. They've been saying they want us dead for the last 3 years. All these different interviews and stuff, so they can kiss my ass. They wanted more dead people so they could make a bigger punch with this thing. So might as well scare people out of taking the thing that can help them save their lives. Because apparently this thing is reacting.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You first.
I was going to say that it's also suspicious how this attacked nursing homes first. I don't know what international traveler works at the nursing home. I don't understand how it got into so many nursing homes nationwide. I don't understand that.
Well, if you want to get the biggest bang for your buck, you go after our old people and you go after our children. And the deep state knows this. Those are the things that are going to get the most attention. So, yeah, they're going to target the soft targets. And right now they don't have any because kids aren't in school. So at least takes that one out of their equation. But I was going to mention something about the hydroxychloroquine, and I think I might have forgotten it. So it must not have been really important. But anyway, so that's really our hour. So I want to go ahead and take a minute and thank everybody who joined us for this hour. Thank you, Johnny Rhodes just followed me and dropped me a lemon, and Pete threw me another ice cream. You're not going to have any food left for your own survival, Pete, if you keep throwing it at me. So just remember that we're in lockdown now, so got to be careful. But I do appreciate it. I'll eat it and think of you every time. Anyway, so my mods, appreciate you guys. Miss Belinda, you want to say anything on the way out? I know I said this to you once already, but every time I do, you got something else to say. So,
well, just thank you everybody for tuning in, and I can't chat back, so I do see my name go by sometimes in the chat, and I appreciate anything that y'all have to say. And we'll wait for Alex to say the tagline.
YouTube open in order to. Yeah, right. If you do want to get involved in the chat, you just have to have something where you can play YouTube on it, so that you can type on that. But I know it requires extra equipment all the time.
Well, it just bogs it down. So
yeah. All right. Well, with that being said, y'all stay in the fight.